This is Jaxn, drummer of PIRE of EVIL, and this is a song from the new album Crucified. Check it out. My name is Marc Jackson, and I am known as Jaxn. I am the drummer of PIRE of EVIL. I play, that's with Mantas from Venom and Demolition Man, Tony, Dolan, Venom.
Thanks for taking the time out to do this interview. I'm sure you're pretty busy, man.
Yeah, man, no problem, anytime. I love the radio show, I'm listening to your radio show all the time, the sick room rules,
Thanks for that, man, I appreciate that. So you're all from this place in Newcastle, England called Up on Tyne. There's been quite a few bands that have come from there. What makes this place in Newcastle so special, do you think?
I know that everyone, most of the bands from Newcastle, they seem like they're really dedicated to music, and they want to do it, and people are always trying to find different ways to go further with their music, and I think everyone kind of communicates with each other to find, to open doors to go on to the next level. And I don't know, I just think that everyone really has a huge respect for music, and in this area, and I think locally, compared to a lot of places, in my opinion, I think that Newcastle is a great place for local bands, So, there's plenty of bands out there, I played in a band called, I started off in a band called Minnigan, and they were like, they played the odd pub cover here, but, it was mostly original. And they had a guitarist called Marc Jackson, and he was known, because he was an amazing guitarist, he actually had one arm, and he's an incredible player, and that got Minnigan quite popular locally, and then I did an album with them. That was in I think it was 2003. I did an album called Europa, and then after that I was with them for a few years, and then I went to join a band called Beyond the Grave, who actually, they were one of the local bands who have been going for quite a while, and they were doing well for themselves. They supported quite a few big bands like Cradle of Filth and Cult of Luna and Silosis and all that. We played Hammerfest, so I just think it's the communication in this place. I think it's quite a small area that, all the bands know that if they work together, they know that they're going to go further with their music, and that's how they make the contacts,
Did you always know that you wanted to be a drummer of a heavy metal band, or just a drummer in general?
I know from when I actually, when I started playing drums and I took it seriously, I knew exactly, what I wanted to do and how far I wanted to go with it, and I'm a very, very committed person. I'll not just do something half-assed. I'll do it full on, and I think that's why I'm getting, I've got somewhere. I'm playing with ex-Venom, members, Mantas and Demolition Man. That's awesome, but I knew exactly that's what I wanted to do. What I really want to be, is a well-respected musician, you know, not just someone that's there playing drums. I want to be kind of more than that, you know. And I just want to go as far as I can with music and be appreciated for what I do, and, you know, have people understand the way I play. I don't want to just sound like every other drummer out there, you know. I want that originality. I think that's important, you know, because the original players are the ones that stand out the most, you know. You know, you've got like John Bonham and Cozy Powell and Ian Pace, and, you know, and like, you know, the newer drummers as well, like, you know, Chris from Lamb of God. I think he's incredible. Paul Bostoff and Dave Lombardo. You know what I mean? They're incredible drummers because they are their own, you know.
Now, speaking of what you were saying before, you've just finished recording, or I think you're in the pre-production stages of a brand new album featuring those ex-Venom legends, Mantas and Demolition Man. What can we expect for this new album for those that are listening that haven't heard it yet?
As in people who haven't heard those tracks from Venom before, or
just the
new?
Just the general.
All right, okay. Well, I think whatever people hear, you know, people are going to have their own opinion. I think people will listen to it and they'll probably, you know, say like, you know, either the original version's better or the newer version's better. I think whatever is said with that, I mean, you know, the band have agreed that, you know, it doesn't really sound like Venom, you know. Like Tony keeps saying, you know, Venom is like this messy sound, you know. It's like that's how they get, like, that's how they are so heavy, you know, because of that.
Because they did it play properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just kind of one big mess, but it really works, you know, because there's no bands like that, you know, and it just makes it sound, you know, super heavy. But, you know, these songs are definitely Empire's songs, you know. I don't think Tony wants them to be recognised as Venom songs, or Jeff for that matter, you know. They are Empire of Evil songs. You know, they're much heavier, and I think what people will notice straight away is how tight they are compared to the original versions, and you know, just everything. It just gels, you know, and you can actually hear a real band on there, you know. With this album, there's, you know, with drummer Gog and, you know, Melodyne and all that stuff, you know, that sort of technology where you can kind of move things or put things in tune, you know, none of that was used on this album. I'm really proud of that, you know, like, and you know, Jeff and Tony are too, you know. It's a real album. It's, you know, to me it's as if you're watching a band, and in front of your eyes, you know, you're seeing this band play the songs live, and I love that, you know, because it captures that raw energy that I think every album needs, you know. I think what makes a band is a band, whatever a band is live, because that's them actually playing, you know. It's not just like you go into a studio and then, like, you know, you just move things about to put them perfectly in place. You know, we were kind of totally against that, you know, and we kind of feel that you know, that's what's missing at the minute. So, you know, I think we had to, you know, just keep that real feel, and just capture the emotion in the songs, you know, whatever we felt we played, you know.
That's all. And because you've done a whole, but well, as it was mentioned that they were not to be recognised as Venom songs, but because Abaddon, the previous drummer, did do the drum duty for some of those songs, did you find these difficult to play at all because there was no sort of real structure at all?
Not particularly, no. I think the thing with Abaddon and me is Abaddon played them his way. I think every drummer has their own personality, you know, and I think when you try and copy someone, it just doesn't work. You're trying to be someone else. So I don't see the point in that, you know. I think you should always be yourself and play whatever you feel. I will say this, though, that, you know, with this album, I knew that there would be, you know, the die-hard, you know, Venom fans who have heard these songs before, and I think they want to recognise some of these songs in certain parts the same way as they were played with Abaddon, you know. So so for this album, I try to keep that balance, you know. I put the little hints of what Abaddon did, you know, the important parts like the intros, you know, like, you know, like Parasite and stuff like that, you know. It's played pretty much the same for the intro, but the rest is completely different. The rest is me, you know. I think that was kind of important because, you know, it's what people have already heard before, and I think it's important to actually keep what they love, you know, just that little hint, so that they feel what they felt at the time when they first heard it, you know.
What would you say to the critics that would say that they've just resurrected this Venom thing to make Empire seem more of a legit, or more trying to use the Venom name just to basically expedite Empire's into the metal scene, because they haven't really heard of this band until, I guess, the last sort of couple of years, and now that they're doing all these Venom songs? What would you say to those critics that think they're just using those Venom songs to help them further into getting in the limelight?
I would say that it's I don't know if I can swear on your radio station, but I think it would be absolute bullshit, you know. I think that that's totally wrong, you know. I think the thing with Empire is that there's no boundaries, you know. We do whatever we want, whatever we like, you know, whatever songs we like, we will do, you know. And I think the big fact is that these songs aren't very well known, and you know they not a lot of people know about these songs, and I think people need to know about these songs, you know. And like I say, I think, you know, people will hear these and they'll go, you know, that's definitely Empire. It's not Venom, because Venom is completely different. And I don't. It's not about using these songs to make a name for ourselves. You know, it is purely about because we wanted to do it, and hands down, you know. I mean, there's an interview somewhere on the internet where Tony actually said that, you know, part of this was actually Jackson's idea. So if people think that, then my bad, you know, I guess. But you know, I love the album, and I'm very proud of the album. We all are, you know, and we all always talk about it, and we all say, you know, that we all can't stop listening to it, you know. And like I said before, there's a band there, you know. It's not just three individuals playing, it's a band that is on this album, and it sounds live. I think that's what makes this album so great, you know. So I think if anyone thinks that, you know, then that's up to them. I mean, whatever happens, we love the album, and I think that's the most important thing, to be proud of your work, you know, and your music, you know.
So the name of this new album is called Crucified, which is actually a pre-Venom song from the Wastelands era, from what I remember. What can we expect musically from this new album? When's the release date going to be?
The release is sometime in April. We're just sorting that out at the minute, but it should definitely be April. But musically, it's everything that the song should have been, in my opinion. You know, I think that what was missing from those albums, with the way the songs kind of have that, you know, the way the songs build tension and all that, you know, if there's soft parts, like clean parts or anything like that, you know, really heavy parts. You know, it's heavier than it was. It's just a lot tighter, and it's what should have been captured. I think that's the thing about this album. You know, that's why we love it so much, because the songs should have been as good as they are now. You know.
And you've got some up and coming shows as well. Do you want to tell us what they are for those fans listening worldwide?
Yeah, we're booked in for May 10th and October 5th in France. Before that, actually, we're playing Hammerfest on the Saturday on the 16th of March. That's in Wales. And just now we're actually sorting out US, South America tour in around September, October type. So I mean, we'll have we've got a few things in the pipeline, but that's what's going on at the minute. You know, we're just sorting everything like that.
And your most recent tour was Japan, is that correct?
Yeah, that was incredible. You know, especially for me, because I mean I've never been there before, and I don't think Tony has either. But me and Tony we were just totally blown away by the place. You know, by the people and you know, the whole atmosphere, and the gigs, the venues were incredible. You know, the crowds are amazing. You know, I mean, you know, they really love music. You know, and it was something special. And it was like being on a different planet. You know, like just the whole attitude towards music it's just mind blowing. You know, I think that's what everyone should kind of learn from, you know, the Japanese way of loving music, I guess.
That's cool. And speaking of the fans, have you got any last messages you would like to say to the fans listening to this interview?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to say, like, what I actually, you know, feel about the way that the response that the band has from the fans, and the response when I joined, you know, like I totally didn't expect that, you know, like I mean, all I've ever had is really good comments, you know, like just like the reviews and everything like that, you know. It's crazy, but you know, it means a lot to me, because you know it keeps me wanting to push myself more. You know, I mean, I would do that never in any way, but you know, it helps a lot. You know, it shows that you're doing a really good job. You know, you're not just thinking it, other people are thinking it. You know, and that's great. You know, so you know, a big thanks to all the fans. You know. And you know, for spreading the word about Empire and everything like that, you know, everything being posted on Facebook and all over the internet and stuff. It's amazing, you know, and you know, would be nothing without them, you know. And I think that's the thing, you know. I think every band has to appreciate the fans, and you know, because without them, you're nothing. You know, that's fact, you know. So, and thanks, guys.
For those wanting to get in touch with the PIRE of Evil, where can we go to look at whatever you're doing in the moment?
If you go on our website, empireofevil.com, Empire spelled the letter M, PIREofEvil.com, all the dates and our Facebook pages and website, you know, our own websites and stuff like that are on there. So all the information's on there, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'd also like to give a big thanks to shout out to Roby from Drum USA and Bob Edwards from Silver Fox Drumsticks. So yeah, cool.